Shabbat Shalom, everyone. My name is Paul Kipnis. I'm one of the rabbis. This is just the pre-show. Dun, 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 dun. Come on, work with me, folks. We're just going to do a couple of things. I want to make sure the live stream is working. There I am. Okay, and I'm just going to make sure I can hear sound to make it work. Welcome to synagogue life in the 21st century, COVID style. Talking. And hello. One more time. If you have a cell phone with you, let me ask you to take it out and turn it off or turn sound off. The cell phone that goes off in the service, I find, is the one that you are 100% sure right now is already off. There we go. Sound is working. Okay. Now we'll actually begin. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. I'm Rabbi Paul Kipnis of Congregation Or Ami, one of the rabbis here, and we welcome you to Shabbat services. With me on the bima, besides Riley, our bat mitzvah, is Lisa Friedman. Lisa grew up here at the synagogue. She has gone off and is now working with Reformed Jewish synagogues, primarily in the Southeast, as part of the Institute for Southern Jewish Life, particularly small ones and also not so small ones, providing religious services and educational programs this year, hopefully on rabbi school track in a while, and has been leading services with us for a long time. Cantor Doug Kotler, our cantor, more than anything wanted to be here. There was a family emergency, one of those few that requires one to be in person with family. So he sends his regrets. First thing he did this morning when he woke up is said, wanted me to make sure I sent my best wishes, and he said, this is the bat mitzvah I don't want to miss, and if I had to miss a bat mitzvah, this is the bat mitzvah I could miss, because this is a young adult who can lead us on her own with strength, confidence, and charm. You each should have near you a prayer book. Those of you who are worshiping with us via the live stream, thank you to Live Control and Jacob Bronstein, who's taking care of all of our live streaming needs. I dropped into the chat a prayer book. We have an online prayer book so that you can follow along if you want. I'll put it there one more time. And you can download that on another screen. I'll announce 2 page numbers. One for here in the synagogue and one for at home. If you are at home, please drop into the chat. Let us know who you are. Only one name usually comes up, so tell us your name, where you're streaming in from, and offer some Shabbat Shalom and wonderful words. And thank you to Jimmy and Vicky Marcus, who let me know that they can hear me. So I'm thrilled. And that must be what Jimmy and Vicky do. So thank you very much. And so we're going to continue now. We'll do a little singing to create community. Thank you also again for wearing your mask over your nose and mouth. And it is just the reality of this moment in life. And so we begin.
Hine Matov, how beautiful it is that we can all be together on this day. Hine Matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov shevet achim gam yachad. tov, hine ma tov. Yalalai, yalalalalai. Hine ma tov, hine ma tov. Yalalai, yalalalalai. Hine ma tov umanayim. Shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov umanayim. Shevet achim gam yachad. I want us to try singing a little bit together. We're here in celebration of Riley. So let's start off with a little singing. Ayo, oh, hey. Try that. Ayo, oh, hey. What a beautiful sounding groove. Awesome. Behind me, I may not lead. Just walk beside me and be my friend. And together we will walk in the path of Hashem. Ayo, oh, ay.
I'd like to invite Mom to join me up here on the bima. You don't need anything except yourself. Yes. Breathe. Let it out. We are here. Breathe. We have waited a long time to be here. And we are all here, and all of them are on, we on the live stream are here to celebrate this moment, which begins in a moment when you take this talit from the hands of your mom. A talit is just a piece of cloth. It is, you throw on some strings on the corners, they become fringes, tzitzit. And then it becomes a talit. We're taught in Torah to wrap ourselves on four corners with these tzitzit as reminders of the 613 mitzvot, commandments to live a good, honest, ethical, ritual-filled Jewish life. But more, it is fitting that this goes around your shoulders in just a few moments. Because if a bat mitzvah is about growing up, it's not about professing faith to God, it's not about knowing every word in the Torah or the prayer book. It's about saying, I'm taking those steps on the path toward adulthood. You have lived through so much this year in your own life, with your own health, with the losses, with the experience of being a teen growing in COVID, that you have made it to this moment. You are walking into and understanding what adulthood is. So I'm going to ask you to turn and take the talit from the hands of your mom. Turn back and into the microphone, say the blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kedishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehitatef b'tzitzit.
Amen. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, guide of the universe, who makes us holy through mitzvot, and commands us to wrap ourselves in the fringes of the talit. And so we remember way back when you held that little baby in your hands, way back when that she had the nerve to turn over, right, and start crawling and standing up and start running and singing at the top of her voice and then in the beauty of her voice and take over the world. And now you are standing here and you are standing here and we are here and we bring in the memories of those who are not here. And we celebrate this moment as you become a bat mitzvah. We Jews lift up these moments, hold on to them with words. We say this is a holy moment. This is a shehechianu moment. We thank God for giving us life, for keeping us in life, and for bringing us to this joyous occasion. If you know the prayer, we invite you to sing along with us.
Page 388 in your prayer books, or page 1 in the little handout if you're online.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh.
Our service begins with Chansi Kaddish, a prayer that recognizes the holiness of this and each moment. It's on page 26 in our prayer books. We're using the black numbers, not the blue ones. And for the prayer book for home, it's on page 2. I will ask you at various times to rise. That's either in body or spirit. If you are able to, you rise and we join together. So we rise in body or in spirit as we chant together.
Yid gadol v'yid kadash merabah Belmad yivarach yurteh ve'yamlich malchuteh B'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol Beit Yisrael Ba'agala ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imeru amen Yehi Shmei Rabba Mevarach Le'alam ulal me'yomaya Yitbarach Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh V'yithadar v'yitale v'yithalal Shmei dekudesha berichu Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran belma ve'imeru amen.
Baruch Hu, page 28, still on page 2 at home.
Adonai Hamevorach Baruch Adonai Hamevorach Hamevorach Leolam Vaed Hamevorach Hamevorach Leolam Vaed.
Please be seated. Page 35 here in the synagogue, page 3 in the prayer book at home.
listen. Quiet yourself, there's nothing to say. Stop all the chatter that gets in the way and listen, listen to our God. When the wind and the thunder finally disappear, there's still a voice that you will hear if you listen, listen to our God. You can hear it from the top of the highest hill, from the valley below. It can come from the edge of the universe. It can come from within your soul. Close your eyes and listen. Please rise. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod, Shem Kevod Malechuto Leholam Vaed. Listen, listen to our God. Listen, listen to our God.
Please be seated. We continue with the Ve'ahavta prayer on page 36, page 3 at home. Chant together.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
We continue with Michamocha on page 40 in the prayer book, at home on page 4. Page 40 and page 4.
Lai 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 lai, ya la lai 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 lai, ya lai 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 lai, ya la lai 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 lai, ya lai la lai lai lai, ya la lai 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 lai, ya lai la lai lai lai, ya la lai 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 lai.
Mi chamocha beilim Adonai, mi tehilot osefele, nora tehilot osefele.
Lai 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 lai, ya la lai 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 lai, ya lai 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 lai, ya la lai 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 lai, ya lai la lai lai lai, ya la lai 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 lai, ya lai la lai lai lai, ya la lai 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 lai.
Malechutecha ra'u vanecha, bokeh ayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, ze'eli anu ve'amiru, Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed.
Ya lai 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 lai, ya la lai 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 lai, ya lai 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 lai, ya la lai 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 lai, ya lai la lai lai lai, ya la lai 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 lai, ya lai la lai lai lai, ya la lai 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 lai.
Vishamru, page 44, at home, same page.
Vishameru v'nei Yisrael et hashavat, la'asot et hashabat lidorotam berit olam. Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael, ot hi leolam, ot hi leolam. Vishameru v'nei Yisrael et hashavat, la'asot et hashabat lidorotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai, asa Adonai, et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. Vishameru v'nei Yisrael et hashavat, la'asot et hashabat lidorotam berit olam. Uvayom hashvi'i shavat vaynafash, shavat vaynafash, shavat vaynafash. Vishameru v'nei Yisrael et hashavat, la'asot et hashabat lidorotam berit olam.
We've arrived at the Amidah, our standing prayer. Let me invite you to turn in your prayer books to page 48. And if you are at home, on page 5, we rise in body or in spirit.
Yai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, v'Konei Hakol, v'Zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, U'Mevi Geula Livnei v'Neihem, L'ma'an Shemo be'ahava, Melech Ozer u'Moshia u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah. גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיה הכל אתה, רב להושיע. מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיה הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיה הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום, והללויה סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
Please be seated. We gather together as this world, even as we go through this period of COVID where we're getting close to 700,000 in America who have died of COVID. Probably the last 600,000 unnecessarily. We had found a way to band together and follow through on the wisdom of our doctors and medical professionals. And around the world, close to 4.7, 4.8 million soon. We live in that time, and yet still, in the midst of all that, there are people and peoples fighting, wars all over. We have the ability, we're taught in Torah that we were given the wisdom to bring enough into this world to take care of everyone, and yet we fight. This next prayer, Shalom Rav, asks for a great peace, not just for Israel, but for all the world, forever. Let me invite you to turn to page 60 in your prayer books. It may not be in the prayer pamphlet. So page 60 in the prayer book here.
Actually, page 6 in the prayer pamphlet.
Page 6. Awesome. We pray together for peace.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha, tasim leolam, tasim leolam, tasim leolam.
To join us up on the bima, I'd like to invite Mom, Grammy, and Grumpy, Erin, Allison, and Peter. Come on over here. To help us open the ark, we invite up Lindsay and Ben Isler. Lindsay and Ben, please rise as we remove the Torah from the ark. Ki Mitzion.
Ki mitzion tetze Torah, ki mitzion tetze Torah, udevar Adonai Yerushalayim, Baruch shenatan Torah, Torah, Baruch shenatan Torah, Torah, le'amo Yisrael b'kedushato. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo.
We are here. Yeah. We are here. And to all of you, we are here. We are here. And we're beginning again. In just a few moments, you, Riley, will read from the beginning of Torah. This is a do-over. This is a fresh start. I was taught by one of my friends on Facebook that there's never a clean slate. We bring with us everything we've gone through in the past. But we have a chance to begin anew, to step forward. Every moment in our lives, there is an opportunity to try again, try anew, to choose a path of goodness, of hope, of possibility. Every new life, every new bar or bat mitzvah, every new job, every new love, every moment is a shehechianu moment. A moment that wasn't before and won't be again. A chance for us to raise up, to rise up, to lift others up, to create goodness, blessing, peace, and hope. In a moment, we will pass this Torah down through the four of you, through two grandparents, your mom to you. But we bring into this room your great-grandpa Walter, who's in Tarzana, who we will remember him so that he will never be forgotten. And we remember your great-grandpa Gene, who was passed on, and others also, your great-grandma Bernice, your Papa Norman, and most recently, this past July, your Nana Shirley. All of them would be stunned by the wonderful young person, young woman you are becoming. All of them would be smiling ear to ear at the joy you are bringing them. As we pass this Torah down, you'll know, as I've said time and again, that this is a heavy Torah. Not just because physically this is the heaviest Torah I've ever held in my entire life, but it's heavy because its ideas are heavy. We live in a world that says it's all about being happy. And Torah says simcha, happiness, is important. But really, we've been put on this earth to strive to be holy. We live in this world and it tells us it's all about getting rich. And Torah says money is good, but we've been given what we have to help enrich the lives of others. And we live in a world that teaches us it's all about me, that I can do what I want. Torah comes, and apparently COVID also comes, to remind us that we're all connected and interconnected, that borders don't stop it, but brains and benevolence does. That we were put on this earth for a higher purpose, to transform it into a world filled with emet, truth, and tzedek, justice, to fill this world with ahava, with love, so it will be a place of shalom, of peace. I know from the journey you've been on that no matter what comes at you, no matter what you have to go through, no matter what you have to climb over or lie down and roll through, that you will find a way to take these words of Torah out into that world, and with your heart and mind and soul, create beautiful music, create beautiful community, repair the world. V'zot ha-Torah, this is Torah. V'zot ha-Daka, and this is the moment we pass it to you.
Sweet as honey, sweet as honey, sweet as honey on our tongues. Sweet as honey, sweet as honey, sweet as honey on our tongues. Baruch atah
Help us to undress the Torah, we call up Robin and Bob Helberg. Heiberg.
La so bitty brain Torah, sweet as honey, sweet as honey, sweet as honey on our tongues. Sweet as honey,
It is a great Torah. It is a story Torah. It is the heaviest darn Torah I've ever held. And after holding it up on Rosh Hashanah, or moving it to hold it up, the next day I was in the chiropractor's office getting readjusted so that I could do it. One day we will scribe another Torah. We'll still use this. It'll be slightly smaller, slightly less heavy. We're about halfway there to be able to hire the scribe. And then it'll be the bar and bat mitzvah size Torah. We're going back to the beginning. And to go back to the beginning, you had, how many languages do you speak? English?
1, 2 if you count music.
Okay, 2. We'll take music as a second language. Yes. And so now you had to learn how to read Hebrew. You had to learn how to chant the Hebrew. We took away the vowels because there's no vowels in Torah. We had to take away the musical notes because there's no musical notes in Torah. Then we had to, we put you in this Torah scroll, which is a slightly different calligraphy script. And to make it more difficult, your amazing teacher, Diane Townsend, is not here with you as we're trying to limit the number of people in the sanctuary. And while she's live streaming in, she has taught you so that you can lead. So what? Hang on one second. What is about to happen now is that we are about to witness a miracle. If you hold on to where you started.
The very, very first line.
At the beginning?
Yeah.
Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. There's more. We're going all the way back to the beginning. Keep going. Look at that. Look at that. Keep going. I thought I had, no, we're still going. We're still going.
There it is.
There we
Yeah.
are. Okay. So let me get this ready. Oh, sorry. How's that? Does that hold it? Yeah. We're going all the way back to the beginning, and we're going to reread the Torah. They say each time we read Torah, we discover something new in it. Just like each time we go through a moment in life, a holiday, a birthday, and first day of school, first day back at work, the return from vacation, we are different, so the experience is different. And you can take your mask off also, if you'd like. That was a stupid comment, if you'd like. What will happen is we'll chant from Torah. We'll have a number of relatives and friends. Just step back from Torah so you do that. We'll have a number of relatives and friends help chant the blessings. I have blessing sheets in Hebrew, English, and transliteration. Those who come up will stand on the other side of the bat mitzvah, and once you're up there, you can take your masks off, and just when you go back down, put them back on. So for our first aliyah, we call up friends Ellie, Layla, and Sydney. Ya'amdu, Rishon, Natanya, Hana, Ve'Leila, Ve'Shoshana, Rishonim. Ready? Come on, line up over here. You good? No, you come over here.
Oh,
David. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Baruch Adonai Hamarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam. Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Ha'amim. V'na'atan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Bereshit bara Elohim et hashamayim ve'et haaretz ve'haaretz hayta tovavohu ve'choshech al penei tehom ve'ruach Elohim merachefet al penei hamayim. Vayomer Elohim, Yehi Or, Vayehi Or.
Cool. The second side, go ahead. 1, 2, 3.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam natan b'tochenu Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. I'll take the sheets. You can mask up, give her a hug if you want. Get up.
You're doing so amazing.
For the second Aliyah, we call up Great Uncle Stephen, Great Aunt Linda, Great Aunt Jennifer, and Great Uncle Joe. Ya'amdu Shmuel ben Nachman v'Sirla v'Zlata bat Yosef uvracha shnin. Yeah, you'll come out this way. But keep close to her. You can be close in. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Baruch. 1, 2, 3.
Adonai hamarach la'ed.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher b'choranu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Okay, turn and face this way so you can see her read. Go ahead.
Amen. Vayar Elohim et haor ki tov. Vayavdel Elohim bein haor uvein hachoshech. Vayikra Elohim laor yom velachoshech kara laila. Vayehi erev vayehi voker yom echad. Vayomer Elohim Yehi raki'ah b'toch hamayim v'hi mavdil bein mayim lamayim.
Green socks. Turn over.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam b'tah b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Come on, mask. Oh, you have your mask on. You can give her a hug, handshake, kiss, whatever you do. Yeah. For the third Aliyah, for the third Aliyah, we call up Uncle Adam, Uncle Jeremy, Aunt Helena. Ya'amdu Adam Yeshua ben Zevechana veYoel Matatiyahu ben Zevechana Shlishim. And you can be close to her. Sing towards the Torah.
Baruch Adonai hamarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai hamarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher b'char banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Vayas Elohim et harakia vayavdel bein hamayim asher mitachad larakia uvein hamayim asher me'al larakia vayehi chen vayikra Elohim Vayehi erev, vayehi voker, yom sheni. Vayomer Elohim, yikavu hamayim, mitachat hashamayim, el makom echad, v'tera'eh hayabasa, vayehi chen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, mechaye olam nata betochenu. Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah. Amen.
Before the fourth Aliyah, I want you to have a seat. Yeah, we're going to do this. Whenever we have Torah out, we like to say special prayers. Prayers, in this case, prayers of healing, the Mishaberach prayer for healing. I study Torah, I read Jewish tradition. And I know that when we sing a prayer like the Mishaberach for healing, it's not a guarantee, like you see on some of those TV shows where God comes down and you shall be healed, and you are healed. And the disease is gone. What the prayer means, it might be for some people that may happen, but more likely it's a prayer that asks God and the holiness in this world to provide the strength and courage to carry forth during the difficult times, to find a way in the midst of what's going on, to get to the next week or the next day or the next moment. And day by day, when that happens and we go through, that is refuah, that's healing. That's shalom, a sense of wholeness and peace. No guarantees that those who are ill will always get better, just like there's no guarantees that one who hasn't studied for a test will get an A. You only get that if you work it. Maybe disease is only cured if we, collectively as humans, put the money into the medical research to fight off those diseases, to bring that healing. But we can find strength and courage to get through, as many of us have in these last couple of months and years. And so we sing together. The prayer is on page 253 in your prayer book. It might be the next prayer at the home prayer book. Before we sing together, I invite you, as I bring my hand around the room, to mention the names and relationships of those you're asking for blessings of healing for, like my Uncle Fred or my friend Sophie. Tonight, we're asking for blessings of healing for all of you, for all of us, for everyone, we sing together, page 253.
Before us,
you're interested in exploring the theology of why bad things happen in this world and what role God, if there is a God, might play in it, my Yom Kippur evening, Kol Nidre sermon, I took God to task for COVID and a whole bunch more. It was not a pleasant discussion on my end, and the response wasn't exactly what I expected. It's up on orme.org/YouTube, or text someone in the family and I'll get it to you. For our fourth Aliyah, we call up Aaron, Mom, Grumpy, and Grammy, Aaron, Peter, and Allison. Ya'amdu Rivi'i, Aliza, Malka, Bat, Zev, Chana, V'Zev ben Nachman, V'Sirla, V'Chana, Bat Yosef, Ubracha, Rivi'in. You face the camera. Okay, let's open this thing up. Show 'em where it is.
Baruch hu et Adonai HaMevarach.
Baruch Adonai Hamarach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevarach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim. V'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen. Vayikra Elohim Layavasha Eretz Umikvei Hamayim Kara Yamim Vayar Elohim Kitov Vayomer Elohim Tadshei Haaretz Deshe Esev Mazri Azera Eitz pri ose pri lemino asher zarovo al haaretz vayehichen vatotze haaretz deshe esev mazri asira leminehu ve'etz ose pri asher zarovo leminehu Vayar Elohim Kitov.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher natan lanu Torat emet. V'chayei olam nata betochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen. Give them all hugs and kisses. Okay, come here for a second. Stand here and just face them. No, come back, Grumpy. Just put your mask on because I'm getting a little close. And don't worry about this. I'll face you now. And I want you to look at these two. I think you know them. The people facing you now are the greatest gifts you're going to get your whole bat mitzvah. Yes, you'll get presents. You might even get some money. You might even get some things. But you know the greatest gifts you have are right in front of you. These people met you when you were born in those first minutes or hours. They held you, they loved you, they changed you, they figured out what you needed. They held your mom when your mom was trying to figure out what you needed, and they carried you through. They've been your rock, your strength. More than any other presents that you will unwrap, I invite you appropriately to unwrap these two. These people know about things you only read about in your history books. They remember wars you've read about. They remember difficulties that you can only read about in books. They remember the world before the state of Israel, the challenges of creating the state of Israel and what it is now. They knew your mom back when she was cool. And still is. And they remembered the challenges she went through as a teen and the challenges you have and will continue to go through. unwrap them by asking them all the questions you can imagine. Video it on your iPhone if you want to. Hold on to them. Ask them about what they were like when they were kids, the things they liked to do, where they went when they were teens, what they did for the summers, their first loves, how they met each other, how they fell in love, what they thought about when they first saw you, and when they saw you again, and how it felt to hold you then and how it feels to hold you now. God willing, they'll live like Moses ad Mea Esrim for 120 years. But we know the world healthy, maybe 100, but feel like 20.
Okay, I'll take that.
But hold on to them, love them, learn from them. Enjoy them for every moment they are here. The greatest gift you have, next to your life, next to your mom, this family. So give them one more hug, they'll sit down, and Mom will come back up. For our maftir. Ta'amod, Chaviva Raya Bat Aliza Malka, Bat HaMitzvah. Yes, I have yours right here.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamorach.
Baruch Adonai Habarach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamorach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Hamim V'natan Lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Notein HaTorah. Vayehi Erev, Vayehi Voker, Yom Shlishi. Vayomer Elohim, Yehi Meorot, Birkia Hashamayim, Lehavdil, Bein Hayom, Uvein Halayla, V'hayu Leotot, Umoadim, Uyamim, Vishanim, V'hayu limorot birkia hashamayim lehair al haaretz vayehi chen.
Chazak, chazak, v'nit chazek. May you be strong, and may you ever be strengthened. Yasher koach, mazel tov. I'm going to have you stand right back. We'll step right back there. To help us dress the Torah, we call up Ronnie Retton and Liz Brassler, and to open and close the ark, Ilana and Jordan Brooks. So the Brooks, if you'll stand in front of the ark, and Ronnie and Liz, if you come right over here. We rise now to give honor to the Torah. Please rise. Take it off. Yes. be seated. In a minute, we will continue our service with a dvar, with some blessings by Mom. But first, piece of music. While Lisa's preparing for that, out there is Kvelling, filled with pride, Shepping Nachas, overflowing with joy, is Diane Townsend, our amazing bar and bat mitzvah teacher. Diane not only prepared, helped our bat mitzvah learn the prayers and particularly to chant Torah, but prepared her in such an amazing way that she could do it without her teacher standing next to her. I'm a poor substitute as a gabbai for Diane. So thank you to Diane out there, and we're feeling your joy and your shepping of nachas.
Don't walk behind me, I may not lead. Just walk beside me and be my friend. And together we will walk in the path of Hashem.
Sorry. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you all so much for being here with us today, both in person and on your sofas, to celebrate Riley finally becoming a bat mitzvah. This is a very special moment in our lives, made all the more special by the love we feel from each of you. Thank you to Rabbi Paul and Cantor Doug, who is with us in spirit, and Diane Townsend and Lisa, for helping Riley reach this point of being ready to confidently lead us in this beautiful service. Your guidance, your patience, your teaching, and all-around menschiness has meant the world to us, especially during some very difficult moments these past several months. Many parents will tell you that the happiest day of their life was the day their child was born. 14 years, 6 months, and 5 days ago, I said and felt the very same thing. On March 27th, 2007, at 5:13 in the morning, I heard the most beautiful and shocking words ever uttered. "It's a girl," followed by the most glorious, powerful cries I had ever heard. I knew you were a belter even then. Riley, you were put in my arms, and that was the happiest day of my life. At that time, 5,303 days ago, it truly was. But that's no longer accurate, because the next day was the happiest, and the next day was the happiest, and the next, and the next, and the next, and each day that preceded it was the happiest day. Even the days when we don't see eye to eye, or the days we seem to live on entirely different planets and entirely different universes, me on planet mommy and you on planet teen, even those days are my happiest because I get the privilege of being your mother. And now, here we are, standing together on the bima in front of our family and friends in what is truly, unequivocally, the happiest moment and the happiest day of my life. Riley, I always dreamed of being a mother to a daughter. Having such a strong bond and special relationship with my mom, I dreamed of someday having that with my own little girl. And I always wondered what my daughter would be like. In my wildest dreams and deepest hopes, I never could have imagined having a daughter like you. From the moment you came into this world at 9 hardy pounds, you have amazed and delighted everyone around you. The day you were born, you lifted your head and looked around as if you were taking in your surroundings. At 9 months old, you walked into Mike's shoe store on your own 2 feet when we went to buy your first pair of hard-soled shoes. You were so young and tiny that they only had 1 pair of shoes in the entire store small enough for your tiny baby feet. You were spelling your name and small words before you were 2 years old, reading Bob books at 4, writing your own Ladybug thank you notes after your 5th birthday party. You flew through every milestone as if you were running a race. You were curious about every word you heard, often stopping us mid-sentence to ask for meaning. Try explaining irony to a 6-year-old. And then weaving vocabulary well beyond your years into your own sentences. You were hungry for knowledge and possessed a love of learning from the very beginning. I knew how incredibly intelligent you were early on, and can remember the moment I knew just what I was in for when at 3 years old, while hiding under the dining room table during a game of hide and seek, you muttered to yourself, "This is so exasperating," when I hadn't found you quite as quickly as you would have liked. I knew where you were the whole time. Your love of learning has continued to grow, and you continue to flourish in every subject, from your incredibly descriptive and eloquent writing assignments to your ability to solve complex algebraic equations, a skill you inherited from your Nana and not your mama. I am in awe of what is inside your brain and your many academic accomplishments, including a cumulative 4.0 grade point average in middle school, despite the many challenges you have faced these past few years. But that is not all. Can we talk about what it is like watching you perform? I am mesmerized every time you take the stage. Whether you are in the starring role or in the ensemble, you fully embody each character you play. I can recall one of our friends coming to see Hairspray, and she was fascinated watching you pull a little bobby pin out of your hair to try to pick the lock on the jail cell during a scene so that you could escape from juvie. The director didn't tell you to do that. You have no prior experience picking locks, as far as I know, or being locked up, but something compelled you to that action. You were completely in the moment, as you are every time you perform. From your first role as a penguin in Mary Poppins when you were 5 years old, to your most recent incredible performance as overachieving Marcy in Spelling Bee, and every role in between, you engage the audience and dazzle everyone who is fortunate enough to experience you in your element. That is what makes you a joy to watch. Yes, you have a beautiful voice and a megawatt smile under the stage lights, but what makes you such a rare talent is your instinct and the emotion you bring to each word you utter and each lyric you sing. That is not something that can be taught in voice lessons or dance classes or even acting class. It is something you are born with. Your ability to interpret a piece of music on the piano, a song in a musical, a scene in a script is remarkable. But more than all that, more than your intelligence, more than your talent and your beauty, what makes you the blessing you are is what is at the core of who you are. Your generosity, your kindness, your heart. Riley, you exude kindness, and you always have. You are the friend that everyone comes to for comfort and advice. I can often hear you on the phone late at night, especially when you should be doing homework, sharing words of encouragement with your friends when they have had a rough day. And you are always ready for a hug for anyone in need. Even as a little girl, you hugged everyone, which led to a few discussions about stranger danger. You celebrate your friends' accomplishments when they get the roles they want, and you comfort them when they are disappointed. You've written beautiful, comforting words to those you love in times of loss. You say thank you, not because your mom told you to, but because you know that a simple thank you can make the recipient feel so special. You smile at people, and I can see it change them. You look people in the eye when you speak to them, something you have done from the time you were a tiny tot, and you really see them. You make a connection. You feel deeply and empathize more fully than most adults well beyond your years. You cry in movies and while watching TV. I mean, really cry. These are the qualities that draw people to you, kids and adults alike, because you make people feel good. There's so much I am proud of, Rye, as I stand here beside you in this happiest moment, on this happiest day. But your kind, empathetic, generous heart is what makes me most proud to be your mom. I love who you are, and I love what you're about. Your future is limitless, Bean. With all the amazingness you have inside you, I have no doubt you will change the world, and I can't wait to watch you do it. May today be just the first of your happiest days, and may each tomorrow be ever happier. I love you.
Clean up a little bit here. And now we invite our bat mitzvah to teach us what she's learned from a Torah portion and in life.
Shabbat Shalom. Dear Riley Eichberg, today is going to be a good day, and here's why. Because you're becoming a bat mitzvah, and you are you, and that's enough. That's how I was supposed to open my bat mitzvah speech on March 28th, 2020. But alas, as we all know, that did not happen. And it did not happen in May. So here we are. Third time's the charm. Looking back on my original speech, I find it shocking to see how much I've changed. It's strange to see how many jokes I cracked and how lighthearted it was. When the world shut down on March 13th, 2020, I had no idea how it was going to change me. I wake up now feeling so grateful to get to live another day. Now with the world slowly opening up, there are so many new beginnings. Bereshit. This may be just the most fitting Torah portion for this time. It talks about the creation of the world. In a sense, our world is being recreated after the whirlwind of the past year. New beginnings. I started high school in August, and it was terrifying. But nerves and excitement often stem from the same place, right? New beginnings. My mom and I moved into an amazing new home. New beginnings. We got our sweet little fur baby Callie. New beginnings. President Biden was elected. So many new beginnings. God created heaven and earth. God created life, created plants, created light, but God also created COVID. Honestly, I've been really struggling with this bat mitzvah. How am I supposed to believe in something that let our world go to ruins? How am I supposed to believe in something that gave me pancreatitis twice within the same year? How am I supposed to believe in something that gave me the worst ulcerative colitis flare since I was diagnosed in 2019, this week? How am I supposed to believe in something that took my Nana from us on one of the best nights of my life? How am I supposed to believe in God? Honestly, I don't. But can you blame me? I mean, I believe there is something greater than all of us. But God? For the longest time, I felt so ashamed to think about this. I thought I was a horrible Jew. But my belief in God, or lack thereof, does not make me any less of a Jew. One of my favorite parts of Judaism is questioning, and I love that I can question everything, including the existence of God. I later came to find out that my Nana, Grandpa, and Uncle all feel similarly to the way that I do. Maybe I'm not as alone as I thought. I love celebrating the holidays and how, in some way, all Jews feel connected. This year has taught me more about friendship than any other. Many of the people watching on the live stream are people I've just recently met. Having such a unique and shared experience truly brings people closer together. I adore my friends more than anything. I love acting crazy with them and laughing with them and getting to perform on stage with them. This summer, I met some of my best friends in the whole wide world doing the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee at Calabasas High School, one of the greatest experiences in my life. Maybe in a sense they are God, or as Rabbi Paul sees it, a manifestation of God's love in our world. I mean, we're told that God is everywhere and is looking out for us. Well, those are my friends. They never fail to make me smile when I'm down, and no matter what, they have my back. My Torah portion, as previously stated, is Bereshit, and it's about the creation of the world. In the beginning, God created heaven and earth. God said, "Let there be light." Well, let there be light. Let's make the world a brighter, happier place. We all have that chance now, right? Now more than ever, we need to be kind to one another. With all the death and heartbreak and loneliness in the past year and a half, we need to be there for and care for each other. You never know how much your kindness can impact someone. I mean, the other day I got a compliment on my eyelashes. Nothing big, but oh my gosh, did it make me feel good. If a small compliment like that brightened my day, think of how much better this world could be if we were all just kind. It takes so much more effort to be cruel. So, let there be light. Brighten someone's day. Tell them how special they are to you. If there's anything the past year has taught me, it is how important and fragile life is. I have some people to thank for this very special evening. Mom, you're my best friend. Words cannot describe how much you mean to me and how you inspire me. You're the strongest person I know, and I love you more than the stars in the sky and the grains of sand on the beach. Thank you for being both my parents, for everything you do for me each and every day, and for making today possible. Whew. Grammy and Grumpy, the greatest grandparents alive. Oh, I adore you so much and would not be who I am today without you. Grammy, I can't wait for more car rides together in your new red Tesla belting out show tunes. And Grumpy, I look forward to our next IHOP date. You are my sunshine, and I love you more. To my unbelievably wonderful aunt and uncles, I cannot believe how close we've grown in the past few years. Thank you for introducing me to better movies and TV shows and giving me two of my favorite people on the planet. I still can't believe how many horror movies we've watched. I love you endlessly. To Kenzie and Aria, my sweet little guinea pigs, who are not in the room right now, there is no short way to sum up how much you both mean to me. Thank you for letting me test hairstyles and makeup on you, Kenzie. And Aria, thank you for your snuggles and goofy nature. I love belting out Moana and Frozen with you and cannot wait to watch you grow up, but not too fast. I'd like to thank Diane Townsend, my bat mitzvah teacher, for teaching me everything I needed to know for this day. You were able to get me interested in something I wasn't sure I really wanted to do. Thank you for being so, so patient and kind. Cantor Doug Kotler, your songs are so lovely and they make services enjoyable and engaging. Your stick with Rabbi Paul always puts a smile on my face and my family's faces, especially my grandpa. Thank you for making me feel so comfortable up here, and I wish you could physically be here, but I know you're here in spirit. I'm glad to have snagged some time with you before your retirement. And thank you, Lisa, for stepping in on short notice. It really means a lot. And lastly, Rabbi Paul Kipnis, thank you for supporting me throughout this whole process. I know I have not made this easy. Thank you for letting me be brutally honest with you and for not treating me like a child. I'm so grateful for your patience and guidance. And like we always joke about, I look forward to you helping me write my speech for when I win a Tony. And lastly, thank you to all of you for joining me today, both in person and virtually. Finally. I look forward to partying with you all tomorrow. Have a great night and Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Yasher Koach. Wow. Beautiful. Stay up here. Let me have you put that on. Turn this way a little bit. Wow. 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 I just want to underline a couple of things you said. First, that this was not the first speech you wrote, but the second one. And the first one should be read somewhere sometime because that was beautiful and wise on its own. Wow. Not just for your voice, but for the passion you bring when you bring your voice and your whole personage here. Wow for your honesty. If you can say it that well and with that much respect and kindness, you should be able to say anything, and we in this room, in this country, and in this world should be able to hear it and then engage with the ideas instead of rejecting the person because the ideas aren't ours. Thank you for adding that line that I asked you to do about Rabbi Paul says you can argue even about God's existence. One day, I hope, as you continue to push through the challenges of life and the joys of life, I hope you stay open to the possibility that God is not exactly as described in Torah or by the politicians out there in the world or the televangelists, the one who rewards and punishes, even though the book says that. But maybe it's a metaphor, and maybe it's that group of friends, that community, that God is in that community that lifts us up. Or maybe God's not the being that goes down and says, oh, I'm not supposed to do it. Be healed. Right, don't touch the makeup or the hair. But maybe God is that force or collection of forces that connects everything to everyone. That in spite of the illness, in spite of the COVID, in spite of the loss, in spite of our failure as human beings to use the wisdom and brains and money and power we have to fix this world. Do you know that they can take a person and put them under a mountain in, I think, Colorado or in the Midwest somewhere, give them a joystick and a screen, and we can fly a plane to the other side of the world and have them drop a missile, and it can hit, when they do it right, a square foot and blow up that enemy there. If they can do that, why can't we do that to cancer cells, colitis, or anything else? It makes you stop and think where you put your priorities. God gave us the wisdom to do that, I think. Are we using that wisdom for the right things? That said, whether you believe in God or not the way I do, or not at all, you're still a good Jew. Because it's about how you take the values and the teachings and the stories and live it out in the world through kindness and justice and faith and goodness. So I'm now going to take this wonderful young woman before the ark and share some private words of blessing with her. When I do that, those of you who are stringing in with us, go on to the chat and drop in some beautiful comments of praise, of wonder at how proud you are of our bat mitzvah. I know that Riley will read those later on during the week. And those of you in the room, I want you to imagine you're standing in my shoes. What words of praise would you be saying to her now? I know that later on during the celebration, you'll find a moment to pull her aside, to pull her mom aside and share those, or in the next week to share those words of praise with her. But for now, let's sit back, listen to a song about passing our values L'dor Vador, and think words of blessing.
We are gifts, and we are blessed. blessings. We are history in song. We are hope and we are healing. We are learning to be strong. We are words and we are stories. We are pictures of the past. We are carriers of wisdom, not the first and not the last. L'dor vador nagid god lecha. L'dor vador, we protect this chain from generation to generation. L'dor vador, these lips will praise your name. Looking back on the journey that we carry in our hearts, from the shadow of the mountain to the waters that would part. We are blessed and we are holy. We are children of your way. And the words that bring us meaning, we will have the strength to say. L'dor vador nagid god lecha. L'dor vador, we protect this chain from generation to generation. L'dor vador, these lips will praise your name. L'dor vador nagid god lecha. L'dor vador, we protect this chain from generation to generation. L'dor vador, these lips will praise your name.
Thank you. If I had to lead services without Cantor Doug, and particularly if it was last minute and I had about 10 minutes to review the service with the person, though Cantor Doug spent more time, I'd want it to be with Lisa, an accomplished leader, singer, and also liturgist, rabbi in training, if you will. So thank you for bringing your heart and soul, your persona, and your music, and making us calm at a time that we could be anything but. You lift us up. We're now going to, as we move toward conclusion, we're going to take a moment to remember those who are no longer with us. Their memories still warm us, their love can still inspire us. Some of you here are remembering your loved ones during this time of Kaddish, those who have passed on. As I bring my hand around the room, I invite you to mention their names in relationship to you aloud. This evening, we are remembering for all of them and all of you. We turn to Kaddish in our prayer books. It's page 294. I think it's at the end of the at-home prayer book. We rise in body or in spirit as together we say, Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divarach irutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agalau vizman kari v'imru amen. Yehi shmei rabba mevorach le'olam ul'olmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei d'kudusha brichu. Leila min kol berachata v'shirata. Tushbachata v'nechamata. Damiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shloma rabba min shamaya. V'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imrumav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the one who brings peace to the high heavens bring peace to us, to all Israel and all the world, as we sing together.
Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov.
And so there's a ceremony with which we end Shabbat called Havdalah. And it has three symbols. It has a multi-wick candle. It has sweet wine or grape juice, something of which is coming now. Rabbi forgot to fill it up. Beautiful. And sweet-smelling spices. As I do, we make Havdalah and end the Sabbath. And then Hashkivenu, our nighttime prayer, to prepare to leave here and then go celebrate. I want to remind everybody that as soon as the service is completely over, I'm going to have everybody. You're going to. You know where you're going, and with just a small number of people are going to stay, and we're going to take some pictures here. I'm going to ask that when you leave the sanctuary, keep your mask on until you get out the door. If you need the bathroom, you go out these doors right here and immediately to the left, and it's down that hallway. And then you'll make your way out. For those who are streaming or in this room who had a bar about mitzvah during COVID, as soon as we can get these god-awful masks off our faces, Cantor Doug and I intend to be up on this bema with those kids, blessing them before the ark. It will happen. We were almost there this summer, and then we had a mask back up. But we will have those moments. And you'll have your moment with Cantor Doug, too, when he gets back, when we're able to. So now there are three symbols. Sweet wine or grape juice, reminding us of the sweetness of this Shabbat, the sweetness of this moment. Sweet-smelling spices growing on God's earth, reminding us that on Shabbat we're supposed to take a little time to not act on the world, but take in the goodness of this world. And perhaps we'll spend a little more time taking care of this world. And then a multi-wick candle. Like each candle comes together and forms one flame of warmth and light. So we each come from different parts of Riley's life and different parts of the world thanks to the live stream. But we form a community of warmth and light here and through the internet, lifting up this moment in this world. The blessings are easy, I'll help you, but lie, lie, lie is a great way to start, so sing with us.
La la la
ha'esh.
Borei me'orei ha'esh. Borei me'orei ha'esh. Lai lai la 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 lai lai. Yai lai la 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 lai lai. Ya la lai 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 la la lai lai. Ya la lai. Yai lai la 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 lai lai. Yai lai la 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 lai lai. Ya la lai 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 lai. Ya la lai lai. Ya la lai. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam.
Borei hamavdil ben kodesh l'chol.
Hamavdil ben kodesh l'chol. Hamavdil ben kodesh l'chol. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Ya la lai 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 lai. Ya la lai lai. Ya la lai. Yai lai la 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 lai lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Ya la lai 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 lai. Ya la lai lai. Ya la lai.
We close every service here at Orami with Hashkivenu, a nighttime prayer, said parents and children at bedtime, said at camps in a big circle, arms around each other, and said at the end of every board meeting and every class and every gathering. Hashkivenu, asking that we be watched over, that there's a shelter of peace that protects us in the night and through to the next day. Whether that is God, whether that's God's presence, whether that's a holy community like this, taking care of each other. And we sing.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom. V'hamidenu shomereinu l'chaim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Amen. Shelter us beneath your wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning light. Teach us daily wrong from right. Amen. 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 Amen.
We say Shavua Tov, it means may it be a good week. We're Congregation Orami, a sanctuary of kindness, a safe Jewish community for today. Could be your second home. We're here sometimes. You got to check the calendar because of the way COVID changed things around every week or so. We're thrilled you're here. Go and celebrate Shep Nachas for this young woman. And thank you for helping bring us back to our sanctuary. Shavua Tov, may it be a great week. Thank you. Mazel tov.
What do I do with